Welcome to the Big Artist Secret Santa collaboration. This year I've arranged for 10 creators, all of these incredible artists, to take part in a huge Secret Santa. Here's how it will go. Okay, first up we open the gift that I received from my Secret Santa and then create something for another artist. Everybody is in order, it's a chain. So if you head over to their channel next, you can see them unbox it, create some art and so on. Got it? Okay, let's go. Oh, the gift from my Secret Santa has arrived. Gonna have to blur everything because there's just details everywhere. Oh, we got a card. Thank you for being such an inspiring ray of sunshine on YouTube, and I hope you bring your unique to 2026 after rest and fun. Oh, okay, so I know who my Secret Santa is because number one in the chain. I don't want to spoil it for you because they are going to be the very last person. So let's try to avoid spoilers. Oh, we got some stickers. Oh, these are so cool. Oh, look at that texture. Ooh. Oh, these are so pretty. Oh, it's all wrapped up. Oh, I'm so excited. Very, very delicate. Reversible wrapping paper. I desperately don't want to rip anything. And that looks like a frame to me. Okay, I think we might find out who it is. I need to desperately hide that. Oh, whoa. I was not expecting this. Oh my, that is so unique. And it moves. Is it meant to move? Wow. They actually sent a message to go along with it. Touch the gear and push it to turn. Change your outlook, change your view. So I believe this stays still and the gear changes. That is so creative. Maybe this is steampunk. Maybe that's where they've got this from. Because in the questionnaire, that was one of the options, along with the pastel colors. And we're not going to be able to see the process until the very end. I think you can agree with me that we all want to watch the process for this because this is crazy. Like, look at all of these details up close. Oh, this is mad. It's so beautiful. Okay, and with that, let's move on to the person that I'm Secret Santa for. This is so exciting. The person we're making a present for has answered the questionnaire. I already had a little peek and this is different. I'm not going to tell you who we've got just yet. Maybe you'll be able to guess with the answers. Oh, I can't believe we're back here again. I'm so excited. And this is going to be a very rough sketch. You're going to find out why very soon. Biggest reason is I don't know what the piece is going to look like. A lot of it we're going to be figuring out on the spot. That's all I'm going to say for now. First up, their favorite season is summer because they go to San Francisco to see their bestie. Cool vibe. We're gonna make a note of it. San Fran. Favorite genre of music is jazz, hip hop, and lo-fi. I feel like if you like listening to lo-fi music, you probably like the art that goes with it. I'm gonna make a note of lo-fi. Right, because surely the two of them kind of go together. Oh, this question I love. I made them, but I really like this one. Of the following, which aesthetic intrigues you most? Steampunk, cottagecore, futuristic, vintage, kawaii, or grunge? That's a good question, right? And they've said steampunk, which is a really good starting point. I like that. Oh, name a color you hate. Anything pastel. Anything pastel? No pastel. Do you prefer having a minimalist or maximalist home? This is another question I love. If you like minimalism, you're probably not gonna want a really bright, crazy piece of art on your wall. And they have said maximalist. They like a quiet night in. They like being comfy. What's an art supply you'd love to try but haven't yet? They've said watercolors. That doesn't mean they would like a watercolor piece. Honestly, looking at this, I am leaning towards acrylics, but maybe we could use some acrylic inks, make some blooms there that kind of look like watercolor. Because also if they make art themselves, they probably want a very different looking piece on the wall that's different to what they normally make. I think. A dream city you'd love to explore. They've said Tokyo. And okay, as soon as I read this and was like, Tokyo, San Francisco, Big Hero 6, right? San Francisco? I think we have enough here. But this is going to be a very different piece of art and I'm a little bit scared. I think we start with an acrylic ink layer that is basically just dropped in like blooms, watercolor look. Something like iconic way that the San Francisco roads go with the big hills. Maybe like a bridge in the background here, like the bridge. All of these buildings that get bigger and bigger like this, okay? Curved like this. So it kind of feels like you're looking at it with like a wide angle lens. And steampunk, obviously you need like a lot of round shapes and stuff for it to be steampunk. Always making me think I can do this, honestly. The Tokyo part is going to be tricky because they are a little bit more rectangular. Though I guess clocks are also steampunk. This is the Golden Gate Bridge. Very, very loosely right now. We're going to be using, I think, acrylic inks and maybe the acrylics that we did the tree with. This willow tree that we painted, the Patreon tree. This loose style, I think is going to be perfect for the person we're creating for. I think that's going to be right up their alley. Trust me on this, I guess. Kind of dark in certain areas. And we obviously want some of the blooms to show. Now, here's the thing. If the blooms at the beginning are really pretty, we're probably going to change up how we create this piece. The color palette is probably going to be a lot of everything. We're also going to have some metallics. Honestly, I don't think there's much point in spending ages doing this sketch because a lot of this piece is actually going to be made up on the spot. We're going to have to adapt. Now, the real question is, do we do it on paper or canvas? Oh, I don't know. I'm going to have a think about it and I'll meet you back here when it's time. The decision has been made. We're doing a canvas. I actually want to grab the gesso. Oh, there's not much left. Because even though it's already been primed, I think I want to do another layer or two. Maybe this one? Just pop it on a tissue box. Okay, so I am actually really kind of concerned about doing a canvas. I don't have very much experience at all, as you can probably already tell. However, for the person that we have, I think this might just be better. They've worked on canvas before. I don't know how the ink is gonna go on the canvas. It's concerning, I'm not gonna lie. Last time, I did actually complete it in about 3 hours. Looks like this. I was super happy with that witch. But of course, that's watercolor. Watercolor is quite a fast medium, and this may take longer. To be honest, I think this is going to be a little bit of an art style swap. After that's all dry, I'm going to do one more layer of gesso, and I guess we'll get started. This is the mysterious box of acrylic ink. I actually got this from a Facebook Marketplace haul, so there's a lot of goodies inside. Maybe this big paintbrush will work. We're adding every single element, so we're gonna need a lot of colors. Like maybe orange, yellow, red. I'm envisioning a little bit of purple and blue. Brown because it's steampunk. And we have this many colors. I don't even know if this is gonna work. It's a gessoed canvas. So let's just open up all the bottles, if I can, pop it down and see what happens. You're gonna have to trust the process with me on this one. Although, to be honest, I am struggling right now because what on earth is this? We have a yellow brick road, a lot of random blobs. It's not quite what I had in mind. And this paint is dripping everywhere off the canvas. So we're dropping acrylic ink, and as you can see, it's not really blending. Not like I thought it would. I think we're gonna have to add a little bit more water to this just to try and get a little bit of that watercolor look, hopefully.
Cold enough to make you shiver, but not cold enough to snow. Cold enough to know it's winter, perfect time to say our first hello.
Well, this is a lot thicker and wetter than I thought it would be, but I think that's the first layer done.
The goal is, maybe I'll just make something slightly light.
hopped on a Natasha L or Sad Shrimps video, but this is not working. We're gonna have to leave it to dry naturally for a good day. I'm gonna be honest, I'm scared. We need to add acrylics, we need to add line work, but keep a lot of what's underneath. We don't even have a sketch, we don't even have it down. And this style is completely different to anything I've done before. Really hope I can somehow pull this together. Okay, let's start with a super diluted acrylic, try and get the sketch down.
It's the end of the year. Everywhere on TV, couples and Christmas trees, gift wrapping and cheer. Just the worst time to be without someone special. In all the movies they're kissing in the snow, holding hands and mittens, baking together at home.
Yup, we really did just freehand that entire sketch, but we have something. Now on to the acrylic markers.
I'm walking in the snow, cold hands and mittens, eating gingerbread home. I dream of December nights, kissing under pale lights, snowflakes and
The markers are ready, we can add some color, but let's get back to the big question. Who are we creating for? Could it be the artists that like to create their own characters, like the Cassie Projects or Courageous Painting? Maybe it's those that like to create very detailed pieces, Sin City Yeti or Los Antonino Creations? Maybe? Okay, let's grab some other markers. These are a bit thinner. You know what? Maybe it could be those artists that like to create really cute pieces. Maybe. I mean, you never know. Like Emma Naseby Art or Susie Neverland. Maybe the Aussie Crafter. If you're thinking that the answers that created this piece indicate that they really like cute art. No? Okay. Well, how's about the final two artists? Those that like to create slightly moody pieces, dramatic pieces. Yeah, that sounds about right, doesn't it? Liz Gridley and Chuck Lee. And if you haven't guessed already, this piece is for Chuck Lee in a completely different style. And a different style to most people, I think, taking part this year. Very dramatic. So far, this is looking very orange, not quite what I had in mind. And we've also still got a lot of yellow in this piece where they specified no yellow. Maybe orange is a little bit too close. Why don't we move on to purple? And you might be thinking that this color palette is crazy, because it is. We have yellow, orange, red, purple, green, blue. It is crazy, but if you've seen any of Chuck's artwork, it looks a little bit like this, and maybe that explains where this whole vibe is coming from. We're just gradually layering to try and piece this together, but of course we can't cover it too much because all of those blooms, yeah, they need to show. And I think we're done with the big markers.
I don't want you, not anymore. Running circles right back to your door.
How's about green? Added a little bit of purple, a little bit of orange. Steampunk is generally a lot of brown, and that will be the basis for this. But I think if we're aiming for maximalist, we need to have lots of colors. We need to have quite a cluttered looking piece with lots of different texture. And whilst the colors are all very different, they are quite a similar value. Of course, I don't even know what I'm talking about right now because I have never made a piece like this before. And it's something that Chuck might love or hate. And as viewers, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, hi. My name is Chantelle. And I generally like to create cute pastel art. So you might be a little bit confused now, especially if you're a long-term viewer. Yeah, this is different. But you know what? I think it's fantastic to keep experimenting with your art and keep pushing yourself. Like, this is the scene in question. And to get Tokyo into this piece, we need to add some words that may or may not mean anything. I got it from a photo online. And this piece is already looking crazy. Like, look at that road. The first layer is acrylic ink, it's blooms. The second layer is the kind of pebble pattern on the road. And now we're going in with that big chunky marker again, darkening this piece, adding texture. I guess dry brushing without the brush, maybe.
Like, I would use these over just regular watercolors.
Now we got Chloe Rose Art keeping me company. You would not believe how many YouTube videos I've got through today. So far we're on about 6 or 7 hours, layering and layering, really having to think about where each piece goes down, because we are layering but we also want the underneath to show. So moving back onto those thinner markers, we're adding detail, but it's not thick. It's not like we're doing one layer with another, with another, with another, and we're not blending any of it out. We are being very particular of where we're adding these lines. It's not a method that I'm used to, and I don't even know if this is working, but we do want that ink look to come through throughout the entire piece. And you know, if you're liking this painting, why don't you give this video a like? Because I would like to explore this style a little bit more. It's kind of fun in a completely different way. Like, we're onto metallic now. I know Chuck likes metallics, so this is essential. But last year I painted in watercolor in such a different way. They're polar opposites, but I absolutely love that about art. Oh, it's getting dark. Okay, we're painting the edge of this canvas, but what is the best color? Yeah, I think it's gonna have to be black. I mean, we tried metallic, but black is just a classic, isn't it? I think it's really gonna complete this piece. And I can't wait to see what Chuck creates for this challenge. He's next. And then there's 8 other artists afterwards. Oh, it's so exciting. And finally, this canvas is ready to be sealed. Oh, we did it! For Secret Santa, this is the gift that I've created for my artist. It's completely different to anything I've done before. Different art style, a different way of creating. The colours, they're not pastel. And I'm just hoping that Chuck is gonna like it. Well, we're gonna find out. Chuck is the next creator in this series, so you're gonna wanna head over to his channel next, watch him unboxing this piece, and then creating art for the next creator who's after him. It's a lovely chain, you don't wanna miss any. There's tons of amazing artists and I think you're gonna love this series. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I'll meet you back here in a few days' time. Bye bye.